Noting the time and presence of a quorum, I call the Boxborough Finance Committee meeting to order. We have a partly remote meeting, so we'll do a roll call attendance, starting hopefully with John Connor, if he can hear us now.
Connor present. I'm sorry I'm not visible. I will try to be visible shortly.
Great, thanks.
Grevin present.
Ryan present.
Stolpen present.
Nealon present.
And Newton present. And also note we have here Mike Johns, Town Administrator, Ray-John Hudson, Deputy Town Administrator, Honghwa Lee, Finance Director, and Susan Back from Boxborough News. And we also have Liz Folks online from the School Committee. So the first topic is the minutes of the last meeting. Gary's not here, but he'll be listening in after the fact, I guess.
At the top of the minutes, it says August 3rd. That was the August 4th meeting.
Okay.
I think the title of the document's correct, but the actual date is
Right.
wrong.
Okay, good catch.
Yeah, really good catch.
Yeah. Okay. And I also noticed something.
Wait a minute. It says, oh yeah, it was August 4th. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm confused. Go ahead.
When we talked about the dashboard, I thought last week we shared the updated numbers for the outstanding debt on the dashboard. Did we not?
I thought we did.
Yeah, he doesn't note that. He notes that we didn't have that yet. So I think he's
What we didn't have was the debt for the potential. Remember we were talking about the potential debt for the piece of property in town that they're talking about buying?
Yeah,
And that's not it. That's what we didn't have, but we
No,
had, I thought we had the
We had
debt.
the debt for the fire station land and design
Yeah.
and stuff in there last week. So
Yeah.
he noted that we didn't have that yet. So we need to adjust that in the minutes, I think. So when you're listening, Gary, can you look at the...
Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at this dashboard and it doesn't have it.
Yeah, I know, but I did share it last week, right?
Yeah, but he usually cuts, so
He
he cuts and
pastes.
pastes. And there's no debt for the fire station in it.
But the version I sent out, I'm sure
Had it, okay,
had that in it.
all right.
So we can go back and look at it again.
I know we talked about it.
Yeah, so we'll get Gareth to look at that again anyway. So a couple of amendments there. So I'll take a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, starting with John Connor.
Connor, aye. Approve.
Grevin, aye.
Ryan, I.
Stolpen, aye.
Hill and I.
And Newton, aye. Okay, so next topic. Well, actually, I think, given that Mike's here, and I know he's got limited time, maybe we should go on to the staffing questions, because I know you have to rush off to a 7:30 meeting, I think, with water resources, right? Last week we talked about the org charts. Actually, I'll share. Maybe I'll share what we've got here. Actually, so Mike sent me a new version of org charts, or a new chart, I guess, of what he has. Actually, no. I'm going to stop showing this one. I'm going to share my version. Actually, let's talk about this. Give me a sec here. I need to find the document. So I remember last time we had we compared what was on your chart with what was on the dashboard, and tried to sort of line them up. And there was a discrepancy last time in some of the areas. There's still a couple of things that are sort of slightly off whack, I think. So we've got one FTE off in terms of, we compare what's on the dashboard now, which is 69 heads in total, and Mike's new chart, which is 68 heads. And I think that's all to do with the Community Services Department.
Right, because in the dashboard, it's reporting the fourth quarter, FY26, and
But it-
between
Okay,
between then and this chart that I sent, putting all the org charts together into one spreadsheet, that's a point in time, so that's showing as of now. So we lost, we had one person leave since last quarter.
but the dashboard shows budgeted number and then actual number. So the budget number in the dashboard is 69.
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay, I'll take a look at that.
So,
I didn't realize
so
there was
we've
a
got
difference there.
68 heads counted
Okay,
from your chart, and then 69.
I'm showing 68 in mine and 68 in.
You were saying 68, are you, in your dashboard? Okay.
Yeah, what I sent you last week, though, you're right, it had 69, and I redid it, and what I sent you today should have 68.
Okay.
Yeah, so this says 68.
Okay. So what are you counting in community services then? You know, which community services, Council on Aging, and Recreation Commission are those three functions.
1, 2,
Sure.
3.
So in there are 4 positions, or four people,
Right.
2.8 full-time equivalents, which is, the Human Services Director is 36 hours, Community Services Coordinator is 35 hours, and they have one split position, which is Admin Assistant for Human Services at 20 hours, same person doing another 20 hours as Recreation Coordinator. So that's the 2.8.
Okay.
But since last quarter, we lost that person who's splitting the two positions. So we're down to 1.8 FTE actual as of
Right, yeah,
this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more concerned about what's the actual budget rather than the.
Yeah, so
actual
the
budget.
budget is for 2.8 FTEs
Right.
for that department.
This is really sort of thinking forward to budget season when we sort of say,
Right.
what's our established number of employees and
Right.
number of FTEs, so we can look at it when we start talking about budget numbers, and if there's ever, you know, potential increases or decreases or whatever, we need to understand, you know,
Right.
what the established
Yeah,
budget is.
that makes sense.
But that's what Mike sent. So if you look at Mike's chart that he sent this afternoon, that you sent this afternoon,
Yeah.
it has human resources, it has 4 positions, 2.8 budget FTEs,
Which is that middle block.
right? Which
Yeah.
is the middle block, which is what it should be,
Yeah,
right? Because it's
Correct.
not,
yeah,
then you have actual, you have 1.8. So you're showing in this period in time, 2.8 is budgeted, but
Right.
1.8 is actual.
Correct.
yeah.
So I mean, you are showing that, but are we still off by one person on the total positions? So it's not that, because Mike's
Well-
accounting for that.
Well, what's in the dashboard in terms of total staff numbers? Is it 69 or 68?
In the dashboard? I don't
Yeah.
have the dashboard open, I can look.
I can look.
Is that online, you mean?
Well, no, just what we've got here. I put it at the bottom of the page here.
Okay.
Yes, so, yeah, in Mike's dashboard, it's got 68.
Yes, he has 68 positions,
Right.
and you have 69.
And there's 69 on here, so,
Now, you're both budgeted, it looks like 58.5, so the actual FTE budget is correct, right?
Tony, where do you have 69?
On his,
when I count up on here, I
See.
guess. Well, so what's on the dashboard? 68? What are you saying?
Mike's sheet that he sent out today, the org chart shows 68.
Yeah, okay, so
And-
then that must be my error somewhere down the line then. Okay, so we're lined up.
Because,
Are we double count? Oh, no, never mind.
because the social service person
Yeah.
is correct, the way it's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Yeah, okay,
I thought they might be double counted, but I'm not sure based on how you tallied this.
okay.
Right, it's hard
Right,
to
'cause you
tell.
have one. Yeah, I'm just not.
But your budgeted FTE actually is aligned, because that should not change for the rest of the
Right,
year.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
58.5 is what you've got an FTE budget,
Yeah,
and your actual is 55.
yeah. And then the other thing that I noticed, with police, there's something squirty going on because you've got 17 heads and 17 FTEs in your chart, which is the 15 police and 2 dispatch heads. and you've got 17 heads, 17 FTEs in there, but that can't be right, I don't think, because if some are part-time, it has to be less FTEs in total.
Dispatch admins are part-time, aren't they?
They're part-time, yeah, so they're half-time, I think, so.
But they total one person.
Yeah, their total's one.
It's all
Your-
one,
the
but
an-
then
the
that
animal
would mean you've got
control-
15 in police and 16 FTEs, which you can't do.
Right, hold on, let me see. Police.
Well, you're also budgeting for these part-time officers, which is that lower line.
Well, a part-time officers are per diem, right?
Correct.
But they're budgeted.
They're not established positions, right?
I don't know, are they?
They're not, they're budgeted.
Are they like contract?
No, they're budgeted. They're part of the part-time salary for the
Yeah,
police
so they're
department.
not contract, but they are budgeted.
They're not, it's not like the fire department so it's not callback, right? So the fire department has per diems, but they're callback.
Right.
So a lot of them. And then some of them, he schedules on various days, okay? But their per diem budget is, we have a fire, we do a callback, these guys come back, they get paid for 4 hours at the per diem rate if they're here for anything less than 4 hours.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is different. They're part-time officers, like they're scheduled every week part-time.
Yeah, they're part of
They're
the
not
schedule.
special officers. They're part-time officers on the force.
Yeah, they
So-
work shifts. Yeah.
Right. So
They don't
they
just-
actually
yeah.
get considered as regular employees.
Exactly. So
Right.
not benefited, but they are in the schedule.
Right. They're on the schedule every week. So
Okay,
Mike
so-
Johns is a part-time
So let's look
officer.
at the org chart then. So we've got chief.
See, can I ask a quick question there? So
Go ahead, yeah.
they're going to show up in both columns. So I can understand how they go into FTEs, sort of like as an FTE equivalent. Is that correct?
Yes.
But how do they show up in the other column?
And the other column being the,
The bodies, the positions.
so, hold on.
I'm just going to, yeah.
So we have two different ways of counting them. I'm just curious as to how they would show up in that system. I can understand how they would show up in FTEs, but how would they show up in the?
Well,
And
no,
the column that has the
what
high
they're saying, John, is that they do count as heads because they're an established position, and they have,
Okay, so they count in both.
yeah.
Okay.
But I
okay,
don't see that.
That's fine.
But if I count the number of people on the org chart here,
Yeah, this
we-
is not working.
it doesn't work because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 if you don't count the part-timers. And then there'd be another 4, there'd be 21 heads if you count the part-timers.
Yeah, I was just counting them on your chart too, Mike. It doesn't look like, because you have 7 officers,
That's
so
fair.
7, 10,
16, 17.
12,
You're right,
14.
you're right. I haven't carried them as,
18.
let me sit down a little more closely with the police chief on that. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question is what do we count?
You're not
as-
carrying the
What,
part-timers.
what do we count as an employee? I mean, an employee to me is somebody who is sort of I suppose, on the benefit system, I suppose.
Not necessarily,
Not
because we have,
really.
no, because we have part-time admin assistants who are part-time employees,
Yeah.
but they're regular employees, but they're not benefited.
I just took my conflict of interest training again, and we are municipal employees, even though we're not paid technically
Yes,
legally.
this is
We are
true.
municipal employees. So
We
that
we
is
are bound by all that
definition-
stuff, but,
Yeah, well,
but that's on the org chart.
Say, that's the definition of being employed.
definition
It's
that-
really anything in the town.
But, so it's no different than a part-time assistant, because they're scheduled every week, right? So Tom Jones is a part-time Boxborough police officer. Every week, he's got a shift. She's got a shift, they have a shift, or 3. They're part-time.
Right. And let me get together with the two chiefs, because I don't exactly know how I know they schedule them.
Yeah.
I don't know how their schedule works with the per diem and the part-time officers. I know they use them to fill shifts, Let me have a little closer conversation with them to get some clarity.
Yeah, I
on
don't think
that.
it matters. I think we just need to be consistent, I think, and clear about what.
I'd like to see the calculation too, like, a full-time is times 1. What are the part-time officers at times
Right, because you gotta
0.25?
know how many hours.
Just the multiplier on that.
Yeah.
Right, because if you look at the fire chief, he's got 30 per diem firefighters that we're not including in the positions. So if you look at, Mike, on your chart,
Right.
we're not including them, but that's, I thought,
There is also a little bit of inclusion in the actual FTEs.
Yes.
But you're right, not in the positions.
Right.
Let me get to.
Maybe it should be if somebody has a set number of hours per week that they're contracted for, that should be a position. If they just, as and when needed, then it should be
But-
counted as a sort of a contract position.
but we want to know budgeted, right?
Well, yeah, it's all part of the budget, but I mean, I think if they're part-time and sort of come as needed, that's a very, you're sort of like, it's a very soft thing, isn't it, to budget? You can budget for it, but it's not like you're budgeting a certain number of people. It could be 4, it could be 5 part-timers, presumably, or 3.
Right, but we don't budget for 30 per diem firefighters.
Right.
We budget for a number
Yeah.
based on a formula, based on last year's callbacks and
Exactly.
schedules.
So, yeah, it's based on a past trend.
Right.
I don't know what that formula is, but I know both chiefs use a
We
formula
have a number of
for
hours
when
that
they're
we
budgeting.
expect,
Right.
yeah.
So, but I do think from a budgetary standpoint, we need to figure out how we're gonna account for these employees. But then with part-time officers, so let's say they don't get included in the positions, although I think we need clarity on what that is. Per diem firefighter, the 30 per diem firefighters do not get included, but we need to know what that budgeted kind of hours are.
Exactly. I
So
think
maybe
we-
that's what we
yeah.
need, another column,
Yeah.
or something that says these are hours that are budgeted.
Right, and there are some
Can't
hours
we-
in both of the FTE, but not the positions, because I don't want to budget in 30 more positions.
Yeah, you can't budget 30
Yeah.
positions, so, right. John was gonna say something, but I think I cut him off.
No, I just see it as you've got FTEs and then you've got people who come into the building. We don't, I see it that way. The one that drives the number is the FTE equivalent.
Yeah, and and have an FTE number, you need to know how many hours you're working on a regular basis.
Right,
That's fine, that's fair,
That should,
right?
that should
And
be,
so,
that should be the decider, I think. If
right,
somebody's
so
doing-
if we have 10 part-timers working 4 hours a week, right? That's 1 FTE.
Yeah, but if we
Only
have
if they
10
don't ever exceed
part-timers
that.
who come in as needed, and some weeks they work 10 hours, and some weeks they work 3 hours, then they're
Yeah, but
not
it's-
part of the stuff. They're not to me a head that we count. They're the same as a contract employee.
but we need to know what
But
that
We need to
budgeted,
budget for them.
But
Yeah.
the
They can't commit.
FTE equivalent budget of that person is X.
Yeah.
so I
Okay,
think,
I have to, sorry, I don't want to get off track here.
no,
Are
okay.
you guys done?
No, I was just gonna say that maybe when you're talking to the chiefs, what you need to figure out is, like, for the firefighter per diem, how many hours is that? Whatever their dollar amount is for their salary, how many hours is that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trying to determine.
Yeah.
So if they budget $10,000 and it's a total of 400 hours a year for their per diems, right?
Yeah, that's easy.
Then let's figure that out.
Yeah.
Because then we can say, well, okay, all of a sudden, we're budgeting 30,000, but it's still 400 hours. That's where, that's the only way we're gonna be able to.
Yeah, we want to know how they,
Yeah.
when it comes to budget season, say, here's my budget, we want to know how they got to that number.
Right.
Last year we did this many hours, I'm expecting it's going to increase by this much, or whatever. Yeah.
So I know we don't do this in ClearGov, but there are, in the spreadsheet that we used to use, the backup pages to the police and fire, maybe DPW, did have salary pages, and it was multiple pages, because it listed all the employees, because it's all public record, all the employees, all their hours, their rate, and how much that was, including the per diem, so that we could see all of that detail
Yeah.
that went into whatever the salary, the $2 million salary number. That was very helpful, and if you want to do, you could do something like that, maybe not that much detail, right down to the different officers, but like full-time officers, part-time officers, per diem firefighter, whatever it is.
And I know that's what the two chiefs are doing, to come up with their,
Yeah.
their part-time reserve, per
Right.
diem,
Right,
budget,
so-
because they have to get to a
Yeah,
number.
if I can manage to pull a page, I can send it to you and you can look at
Yeah.
it and see if that would help.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I've sort of opened a can of worms here, but I think it'd be very helpful to have this on the town website ultimately as a clear, set of org charts, a list of list of positions per department, so we all know how they're set up. Because in the past, we've had some confusion about some of that stuff, so.
Yeah, and that's why I tried to bring it all into one page,
Yeah.
the whole organization. Understanding that, like you pointed out, the left column there, the position, that's not gonna change during the year.
Right.
But the other one is.
Yeah.
The
right
actual.
column-
The actual,
The right
yeah.
column is gonna change week to week, month to
Oh,
month.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, we get the trending quarterly.
Yeah.
But that may be different 2 weeks after that quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the dashboard reports on that, right? The dashboard, then, when they say this
Right.
quarter we are down 3 positions,
Right.
here they are,
Right.
and then you can have that. But I mean, we still need the fixed. Here's what our establishment is in terms of staffing, so we all know where we're starting from, and people in the town need to know that. If they want to go and look it up, they need to know how many firefighters we have, I think.
Right, and I mean, as far as the org chart, that I sent you today, I don't know if it's helpful to have another box below police and fire showing, this is the number of per diem, because I think we said we don't want to add.
Dollar amount number.
Yeah, but we don't want to add the 30 positions in for per diem firefighters, but if that's
I think you can have
valuable-
another column, though, couldn't you, to say these are what other people who are also involved in this department in terms of per diems or part-timers.
Actually, it would be maybe another column, because we also want the rec coordinator, right? Which is getting paid out of a fund, which is different than, right, isn't the rec coordinator part of that position? It would be nice to see that total position budget, so that you've got some in the operating budget. If you have another column that somehow is outside the FTE budget, but still budgeted, and this comes out, it somehow let us know, or asterisk it to say this much of this salary, even though the position's here, $20,000 is coming out of revolving account. Same thing with the veteran agent. Now, is he getting paid out of out of regular operating budget?
Yes,
He is.
as an assessment, just like our dispatch,
Okay.
a
okay.
regional dispatch,
Okay.
and that's noted.
I thought we had another, maybe it
There's
was
two
dog
things that are
officer.
noted here, that the NVRDD assessment, and I just put shared,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you get to the veteran assessment, VSO shared.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't count them as an FTE or anything like that, but I just want to show that that's,
Yeah,
you
it just,
know,
it's,
a function
if we
being
can just
paid
say, 20 hours funded from revolving account, so that we also know where we're funding these other positions
Yeah.
from.
So we'll keep working on this.
Yep.
I think we're making.
I have a quick question, 2 quick questions hopefully, and I'm sorry if you went over them in the last meeting. But, so did work from home go away? Because I noticed it was a number on the spreadsheet for a while, then it went away.
On my spreadsheet is still there, so I would
Okay.
like to have that on the spreadsheet, ultimately, to have a tally of which positions have worked from home as well, so we know that.
Okay,
Just
so that was a matter of spreadsheet control, not any
Yes, yeah. I
procedural
think,
thing? Okay,
yeah,
all right, that's fine.
yeah, so
Second question,
in the end, we
what-
may well consolidate Mike's list, Mike's sheet and my sheet somehow into a clearer
Okay.
version.
And again, file under, I'm sorry if you went already over this, but if you already went over this, but I saw in a few places where there are admins under people who work part-time. Was that discussed?
There are admins, so what's the question, John?
I'm noticing in one of the org charts, and it may have been updated since, but there are 1 or 2 admins, or I know of one, that are reporting under people who work part-time. And I'm just curious why that is.
I can't think of an example of that.
Do you know what department that would be, John?
It was the one to the left of, might have been the buildings person. You can bring up the chart,
Oh,
HR.
the building commissioner.
Oh, is it the building commissioner?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe,
Not on your chart, but on the org chart that we probably got last week.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a good representation of how that person reports, because that's not the way they're reporting. That admin reports to the building commissioner. not the
Right,
other
but
way
that's what he's
around.
saying, but the building commissioner's part-time. So in the org chart, it shows building commissioner part-time, but you have a full-time, is that what you're saying, John? But
Yeah,
then the
you have an
building,
admin
but then
under
you have a
full-
35
part-time
hours.
employee.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of dual responsiveness in that one. So the director of land use is full-time, that's the department head. Under that department head are a number of other people. One of those is the building commissioner, who you're correct is part-time. The admin for that, for building inspections is not full-time, is actually reduced hours, but more than the building commissioner. When the building commissioner is not there, she is reporting to the land use director.
Okay,
And that,
all right.
yeah, okay.
And we've been like that for a long time.
Yeah, and it works well that way for us because we've got a very experienced retired building commissioner who's capped on his hours, and because he's so experienced, he can get the work done here in the hours that he's capped at. It's financially good for the town, it works within his retirement plan, and with having an admin in the office, all the hours that the office is open, we can still be responsive to inquiries that come in or permits that are pulled.
And a lot of that
Okay.
stuff is permits, right?
Yeah, I mean, just because we've been doing it for a long time, that doesn't make it a reason.
No,
So,
but
I
it's
understand.
worked, I guess it's worked for a long time, because a lot of the permits, like when I went in to pull a permit, I didn't even talk to the building inspector. I was like, I need a permit for the tent that I'm getting for a graduation party. I talked to the admin. She got me all the information, she gave me the paperwork, I filled it all out. So I don't think I ever spoke to,
No, I understand. I just wanted to ask about the structure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, guys.
to be continued. Will you go to your meeting, Mike?
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. If you think of any other questions on this, shoot them to me and I'll,
Yeah.
in the week
Yeah,
coming
we'll
up, I'll
probably
meet
get
with the
together again
chiefs.
to have another conversation about it, I think, offline and
Great.
work on it.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks.
So returning to the original agenda, we'll go into citizens' concerns. I know Gary had a concern last week, and I forgot to put on the agenda, but
I haven't answered, or we haven't
you
answered.
haven't
Yeah,
answered
sent
yet.
it out,
He asked about the sidewalk fund, and Honghua responded to say that we do have a sidewalk fund, and there's something like $70,000 in it, which is identified.
They discussed it last night at the planning board, and apparently there's another 975 Mass Ave, I think that was part of their condition, so there'll be more money put into the sidewalk fund when they start their construction, or when they finish, I don't know when that money gets put in by developers, but there is another chunk of cash coming in from them.
Okay. Next up is reserve fund transfers. We have a reserve fund transfer for DPW.
I wanted to ask him a question, but
So this is to cover, do you want to talk about this, Honghua, the reserve fund transfer? Do you want to just talk about it? Or?
Right there.
So this one was to cover some unforeseen costs. Basically, with the 5 valve boxes were tampered with and the wires were pulled out. So this is to cover the cost it took to fix the irrigation for that. So this was just something that we noticed was tampered with. DPW responded to it. It wasn't part of what they anticipated, and that's why they're coming with an RFT for it.
and this is at Liberty. So this is vandalism? When you say tampered with, like.
It's vandalism, yeah.
It's vandalism.
Yeah.
Because they've had other things vandalized over there.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
I think when they first opened the playground, some stuff got vandalized, and this is not the first time they've had issues with various things over there, which is very frustrating.
Hopefully the police are taking.
Which is interesting, because it doesn't quite happen at Flara, which is much more hidden and
Yeah.
off the road.
Yeah.
I think but they do gate that off,
Yeah.
so you can't drive in, but
We had a right to farm sign spray painted on Middle Road.
John cleaned that. It's
Oh,
all
really?
clean now. Yeah, he went down Sunday and cleaned it. So, but yes.
Yeah, okay. Any comments, questions on this?
Are these maybe this is just a auxiliary question, but when they're repaired, is this in a way where this isn't going to happen again? Like, are they locked? Are they protected in any way, or are we just repairing them and they're open to?
I think they were probably locked to begin with, right?
Yeah, I'll have to check with with Ed on how, what the plan is in place to make sure this doesn't happen again. But I'll have to check with him because
You probably
I can't answer that right now.
Yeah.
You probably can't compete with protect those things. Someone's determined
Yeah.
to get in there and bit wires out from underneath.
I mean, and
or
what's it
Just
gonna be, a
make it a little
padlock?
harder.
You know,
Yeah.
you can just break the box. Usually those boxes are
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You can
So-
just smash the box.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this isn't peanuts.
Yeah, and
so-
it's not, this, like, in the past, it hasn't been this, it's been other things on the
Yeah.
playground that have been vandalized. It's just,
Yeah, like one time it was the gates that were damaged. So,
yeah, it's just kind of, it's just poor.
Yeah.
And it's,
Okay.
Well, we should report in Boxman News. The taxpayers should know that they should watch their kids because it will affect their taxes.
this is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
How do you know it's kids?
How do you know it's kids?
You- Yeah, watch themselves then. All these kids.
Very poor behaving
Hopefully
adults.
Boxborough News does a story about this reserve fund transfer and the reason for it.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Okay.
take a motion to approve the reserve fund transfer for $4,707.
So I move to approve reserve fund transfer for DPW in the amount of $4,707.00 on account 1925252400006. And if that's not right, whatever that number is.
Second.
Seconded. Roll call vote. John?
Connor, aye.
Grevin, aye.
Ryan, I.
Stolpen, aye.
Neil and I.
And Newton, aye. So, okay, so that's 6-0. I will- What's the dates? Okay, hold on, that's yours when you get. Okay, dashboards, I've got no more dashboard updates to go through. So list items, so budget transfers, financial policy, I sent to Mike, it has not yet gone to select board, so.
So,
Mi-
I had a quick question. So we actually met with Bob today to go over the agenda. We plan on putting the financial policies on this upcoming Monday's agenda.
Okay.
And I didn't know if you wanted to be there to discuss it.
Yeah,
but
I can
that's-
be there
Okay.
to answer questions on that as well, have discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late to make edits to it. I looked at it again and just thought that it might be important to define like the difference between the interdepartmental and intra-departmental, because it starts with the definition of what a budget transfer is, which is accurate, but it kind of lumps them together. And I think right after that, we should probably say, intra-department, you can do anytime. Inter-department, between departments, you can only do within the 2 months, 90 days.
Is that true?
That is true.
I think so.
So interdepartment within the budget category. So budget other, you can do, right? You can do anything with the salary as long as it's all salaries. So
Right,
you
but-
take chief salary and pay full-time officers, and the same thing with other, but you can't take salary for other and other for salary.
Right, and you couldn't take from police.
And you
move
can't
it to
take,
another.
right, it has to be within the department.
So just some definition of that, since we're defining it all, I think would be important. Just right after that first definition, it's essentially, here's what a budget transfer is, here's the two types.
And like an example.
So
maybe.
in description, what would you add to that?
So budget transfers.
You were just saying, Joe, with to example, like this is not an exhaustive list. Here are some examples just for.
You could do an example. I
understanding.
would even just do like a heading or a bold of, interdepartmental, define what that means, and
No.
then you can do it intra-departmental.
So,
Yeah, I would define it just like Joe was asking. I think that's an important add.
Yeah.
so I feel like what you've done, so what you have is interdepartmental, right? What's
Right.
already there. So intra
Yeah.
departmental transfer, so start with that, intra, which would be allowing within the total other
Yeah, and-
salary.
If you
So
put what is
if-
inter and intra, you could
Right.
define it, but I mean, there's two different types, basically.
So you could start description, colon, Interdepartmental budget transfers are allotted funds that just add that interdepartment,
Right.
and then that covers the one budget transfer
That's the one that's only allowed at the.
at the end of the
yeah,
year.
Right.
And you could add that at the end. This can only be done in the last 45 days of
Right.
of the financial year. Is that right? 45 days?
May 1st.
After May the 1st, I put on here.
Yeah,
right?
May-
So actually, May 1st,
It's May 1st to July 15th, so I think it is 45 days.
well, wait a minute, May 1st to July 15th? It's more than that. That's more than 45 days, isn't it?
Well, May
Yes.
1st to-
Yeah.
I mean,
May
that's
1st, June 1st is 30 days, July 1st is 60 days, it's not 65 days. For absolutely sure, I know that.
Maybe it's 2 months.
I thought it was 2 months before the end of the year.
So maybe it's May 15th to July 15th.
Well,
We should just check
we
that.
should find out.
But, so after, within the same department.
Put that in the definition.
Period, you could say this can only be done from this date to the end of the year. So add that line, and then you can add another line that says intra-departmental, and then do that.
When they can be made at any time, you're saying?
No. Interdepartmental budget transfers can only be made,
Okay, so I'm putting interdepartment here then.
no. Oh, yeah, I see, you do it down here, yeah.
It's May 1st to July 15th. That's,
So it's May
it's like
1st?
a long time.
That's correct. Okay,
So 75 days.
okay.
Yeah, that's-
55 days.
I really thought it was 45 days before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But also not a hill I'm going to die on,
Okay.
so.
So, okay, so that sentence is right, correct? Right?
Yeah, under. Yes, and then you want to go back up to description, and you want to add a paragraph about intra-departmental. And then you can talk about how you're going to explain that.
I mean, technically, it's, or the way we're interpreting it is that it's based on voting, so we're saying, but from anything within salary in any budget line item, you can move any salary to another salary within the same department. You
Yes.
can move any non-salary to any other non-salary within that department.
So in fact, this is wrong then, because the first sentence talks about within the same department.
Right, yeah.
But
It
wait
was
a minute.
correct kind of as a blanket, budget transfers are reallocation of funds allocated in the operating budget between departments and between total other and
No,
total
that's
salary.
right, that's right.
Those are the two
Don't
different
delete
types.
that, though. Don't delete that, because you have to do interdepartmental transfers.
Oh, yeah, between, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we'll just leave the
but-
first sentence how it was.
That,
and
that
then
is
define the
that,
two.
but you can, but within, it's not even interdepartmental budget transfers, it's like within the budget category transfers. Like, within the budget category,
So you just add that it may not cross between, say,
Salary, non-salary.
salary and, what's the other item?
oh, yeah, no, other, so you could do
Other.
that.
So just say, right before the red text starts, just say, these transfers may not cross salary to other or other to salary.
Yep.
Right above that.
Well,
Well-
that's what it says, right? It's between,
But yes, that's what it says for interdepartmental, but will
Intra,
allocate
we
funds.
can't.
Actually, it doesn't say that for interdepartmental. You can still,
I
you're not
honestly
getting to the
like-
level
we're
of
calling it-
detail of sales versus other.
We're calling it
Excuse me,
budget transfer
salary
policy.
versus.
So I feel like the opening with what a budget transfer is made sense, and then after that first sentence, interdepartmental, intradepartmental, or however you want to define it. But budget transfer policy, a budget transfer is this, and then here are the two types.
Yeah, but there's not two types, because we don't need to do budget transfers to do police other, and to take the money from radios and put it to tasers. We don't need to do anything. They can do that.
Right, but I feel like we should say that in our official policy. Like,
that-
this
but-
is allowed without us having to talk about it. Here's what this policy
the
defines. It's just this
intra
part of it.
is within departments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or do we want to say intra is out of scope?
No, sorry, John, no. We
No, I'm
want to
saying
clarify
that's-
here.
So hang on, so can the intra-departmental go from, intra can't go from salary to non-salary, or salary?
Right.
No, it cannot. But it can go within salary. So you can
Yeah.
take the police chief's salary
Within
and pay
departments,
full-time employees.
And so it's within departments and within total other and total salary.
But not to cross,
Yeah,
but cannot cross.
within,
Yeah, yeah.
within, yeah.
Yeah.
In, I'm going to say in the same department. So read that and see if it makes sense.
Maybe or instead of and, within total other, or total salary in the same department.
I think that's okay.
Can I just ask a question? So all the total other is not just an other, it's everything else, correct? Usually other is like a miscellaneous category, but I don't know.
It's everything other than salary.
Yeah, we call it salary,
Perfect, thank
non-salary.
you.
when we
Thank
vote.
you. Okay, good.
The total other, we don't really call it that other than on this.
But we just
document.
said those two can't cross either, right? Should
They
we make-
cannot cross.
Yes.
Should we make that a little clearer?
Salary, I would just say salary to non-salary items.
Yeah, I think that's better than total other. I agree.
Yeah, 'cause total other is a line
where's this
item
other?
name.
I'm going to put
Yes.
in non-salary then.
Yes.
Salary and
To-
non-salary.
In place of total other.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the
Okay.
one above it.
And that, just, if we decide that total non-salary is a better budget word, we can use it that way. Just
Yeah.
because we've always done total other doesn't mean
Yeah.
that
That's
needs to
like
stay
what I
to
always
total
call it.
other.
So that's the description. What the policy then is that interdepartmental may be made after May the 1st.
Apparently.
What about
July.
intradepartmental?
That can be done anytime, and we don't need to approve that. Right, so Hung Wah can do that. If the chief says, I need to borrow $5,000 from cleaning supplies to buy radios, he can do that within
He
his
does it,
non-salary.
right?
That's he's got to manage his non-salary budget,
Yeah.
right?
Do we
Yes.
wanna
So there's
add
no-
as part of the description, the not crossing things? I don't know if that would be clear to the layperson or someone who came later.
So this is maybe
Yeah.
at any time, basically. So the select board will only review and vote on interdepartmental
Inter, yeah.
department. Yeah.
And for intra, right, they don't need ours? Is that what we're saying? They just do that,
Just do
right?
it. Yeah.
Yes, and we need to be better about, we need to get reports in a more timely manner, right? So if we can get the monthly reports, and then
So
we
they
need
don't
to be better
deficit
about
spend.
looking at every single line item to make sure that there's no
They don't
deficit
show up with an
spending.
RFT and go, oh, I moved all my money.
Yeah, so,
So,
I think it's a combination
We
of,
discussed like a monthly check-in.
So we're not going to maintain a record of all budget transfers. It's the finance director, I think, who does that.
No, but this was a while ago on the list. We were gonna get like kind of a monthly check-in. Or
yes.
at least
We're supposed to be getting,
Yeah.
we talked about that as part of
We'll
that.
review all interdepartmental.
Yeah.
We don't intradepartmental.
We don't need to review.
You don't need to review them.
all of
Well,
that,
we
but we're
care.
checking in on.
Right, when we get the month-end reports, if hopefully we can get them in a little bit more of a timely fashion, right? Then we can look at it, and if something pops, we shouldn't be deficit spending.
actually, don't we care about ones that cross between non to salary?
They can't do non to
Can't do
salary.
That's not allowed, yeah.
That's not allowed.
And
Even at the end of the
hopefully
year?
You would catch that.
At
on
the
a
end of the
monthly
year, they
report.
can, but that's a budget transfer, and we have to review those.
Did we explicitly
so-
write that anywhere?
Yeah, this is,
Like, I know we all know that, right? But like, we get a new FinCom in tomorrow, do they know that?
You know what's right.
That you can't do the salary to non-salary?
Well, I
Like, do
think
we
it
want to
says-
include
it
that
says
somewhere?
It says it here.
That's right there.
Okay.
So I don't think that the FinCom will maintain a record of budget transfers. I think that's the finance director who does that. Do you agree?
I agree.
We review those though.
We need to review them, and, some of us might have files full of stuff that we could always go back and look at. But we should not officially be tracking that.
I'm sorry, but just, I know wordsmithing by committee is never terribly efficient, but that first sentence up above is not very clear.
Which sentence?
The very first one.
Like back to description?
Of course.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Let me read it to you. Interdepartmental budget transfers are reallocation of funds allocated in the operating budget between departments and between total non-salary and total salary within the same department. Is everybody walking
It's a
away
bit-
saying, I
yeah,
understand that?
It's a bit squirrely, yeah. So what would you simplify it as, John?
I would throw it into Copilot and say, reword this for me, please.
You know
so
what?
it
I
makes
think
sense.
any,
No.
you know, I mean,
Absolutely what I would do.
Interdepartmental transfers are reallocation of funds allocated in the operating budget between departments,
And then, of course, read it and make sure it's accurate.
period.
Okay. Well, no.
all right, period, yeah, no, put
We're
period,
not
and then
done
say,
yet, though. We can't do it all in one sentence.
Yes.
Period.
Okay.
I'll split them up for clarity, I got you.
So
Just say transfers, this criteria can be made anytime. Transfers, this criteria can only be made this other time.
well, it's because it's between,
Oh.
okay, so wait a minute.
So-
Get rid of the period, get rid of and between, just say between departments and, get rid of the word between. There's too many words, that's what it is, get rid of between. And then that says allocated operating budget between departments and total non-salary and total salary within the same department.
Right.
Does that sound better?
no.
I might say
Okay.
or instead of and.
I thought it sounded better, but okay.
That's what we mean, though, right? What we're saying is, you interdepartmental means between departments or between salary and non-salary in the same department.
Yes, and you can do that.
Oh,
May
okay,
1st.
so,
Those are the things you need to get permission to do, basically.
Yes.
So that should be
Okay,
or
so-
then instead of an and right before your cursor.
Oh, yeah, or not and.
so a salary to non-salary transfer within the same department is considered an interdepartmental?
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that is not clear. in that
And can
statement.
only be done after May 1st.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe we should take another
So
crack at
that's-
wordsmithing this?
So if that's like we have $30,000 for radios and we need to pay a human being,
It needs to
That
come.
like
May
that-
1st,
it needs to
after
come-
May 1st, we do it.
yeah.
And it's got to go through.
I think you should make
All
all of
that.
those rules that you just made in discrete individual sentences. Because those are the rules.
Okay,
you
but
try
this
to
is the
combine it all into one,
definition.
That's the
So
definition.
then you're going down to the rules, so then we can, so we gotta be,
Okay,
That's why I would start. Description, budget transfer is any transfer of any budget
We're
line
gonna
to any
spend
other
all
budget
night on
line.
this.
Interdepartmental
Period.
is this, interdepartmental is this. That's your definition.
yeah,
No.
Before you move into anything else. You've defined
agree.
what a budget transfer is and what the segmentations are that we're.
the fact that we're
Budget
laboring this
transfer,
means
intro
nobody else understands
is
it
this,
either.
This and this, intro is this, and this, and then our list of fun stuff.
Almost could just be a chart.
so can you, the word and, that's before between that we just took out, can you make that or? Because it's
Yeah,
between
yeah, yeah.
departments
No, no, no,
or.
yeah, yeah.
That was, yeah, there we go.
I think that reads
So
okay
I think that
myself.
description is
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
and then you can describe it more, and then the rules come under the policy.
Yeah. You define what they are, and then you say what the rules are for each of them.
I think
Yep.
the policy part is good.
Yeah.
Interdepartmental budget transfers may be done anytime. Do you approve those, Honghua? So if there's an interdepartmental transfer, intra, so you have the fire chief, so I don't keep picking on the police chief, wants to take cleaning supplies to buy plants for out front, right, landscaping. Do you have to approve it if there,
There is a, yeah.
okay, so that should say intradepartmental transfers can be made at any time with the approval of the finance director,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Because that's
So-
your
yes.
job to approve
Right.
that kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
So usually the department sign off, and then I sign off, and
Right.
then Mike sign off. on
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Oh, and Mike signs as well?
yeah.
Okay, so should we have
So
that
should I
too?
say town administrator then?
Yeah.
Yep. And then that takes care of who's responsible for that.
One other thing is it says the select board will review and vote, but the finance committee will review, when really the finance committee
Reviews and votes.
is
the select board.
The primary vote.
We have to. We
We're the-
vote the
we're the vote that
interdepartment.
matters.
Yeah, we're the vote that matters. We
They
have to go
vote to bring it
first.
to us, and we vote to yes.
Okay.
So we vote it, they just review them.
Oh, okay.
Well, they might vote too, but we definitely do vote, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not sure if we vote.
So you should put select board will review and may vote to approve, but we will review and vote. It's,
Okay.
deficit spending of any kind is not permitted.
If you wanna say
Is that what we determined? We determined that even within budget category,
How's it-
non-salary, salary, we cannot deficit spend.
Yeah, but how does that differ to what we say here? I mean,
I think so.
Because I think it's like if they're gonna go into negative, like before we get to that break point where we can, May 1st, then it has to be reserve fund transfer, and it can't be
Yes.
through this process.
That's what we decided. We like.
Yeah,
looked up-
it's not
So you can't
permitted
go
Yeah,
below
but
zero,
why
you
is
have to
saying
do
of
reserve
any
fund
kind?
transfer if you're
And then
not.
come
At
back to us
any-
and ask for money.
At any time.
of any kind. So that when Hanwha has to buy a plant for the police department
yeah.
and
Yeah.
realizes she doesn't have the money for landscaping,
I don't know how it's clearer though to say of any kind, rather than just saying
It's not clear.
Not
Can we
permitted.
say like at a deep level in the budget or something? It's at the deepest level of the budget, isn't that what we're trying to get to? That's what we're saying, you can't go deficit spending even at that level of
yes, you
minutia.
cannot do it. It's just, it's not legally permitted. Can you use the
Yeah, I
word
was gonna
legally?
say.
You could say on any individual line item,
Yeah. Deficit spending is not legally permitted, period.
Mm-hmm.
On any line item. I just,
On any line item,
we
period.
just,
I would say-
I
That's
just
it.
kind of want to put that home,
Okay.
permitted on any line item.
Right, because that's the whole point of the budget, come here and ask for transfer and
Yeah.
get your money.
Yep. Okay, department heads.
Because, yeah, I mean, I think we do a really good job here just in Boxborough, like, keeping our balances on board, but, you know, if you're in another community, that could be a problem.
makes you really wary, huh?
And you
Yeah.
can't always, you know, we
Yeah.
don't
Maybe
always
you
know
don't
who's
have
going to
the
be on the
money,
other
you
side
just
of this,
spent it, then-
following
No,
these
you don't.
directions, so.
Okay, are we all relatively happy with that?
I think so. Are we good with this language?
John, do you want to go back to the beginning again and start over again, or are you okay with it?
I'll let it slide.
Okay. So that's the first one.
Right.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's
Next.
related.
So reserve fund transfer policy, anybody got any problems with that? I can bring it up again if we can read
Why
it.
don't you bring it up? Because I didn't think I had a problem with the other one until Joe said something.
Okay.
You get one chance to correct it, that's in print for 10 years.
With this committee,
Now
it's in
or
print
forever
for 3 months. We're on it.
Fine. So let me just share my. Oh, there you go. Okay. So the thing we changed here is that we would take this money from free cash, not from operating budget.
Okay, so we've decided that. We're doing that. We should take a vote on that. Did we vote on that?
No, we did not vote on that because we said there weren't many people here last time. So.
Yeah, so we've got a full complement. We should take,
let's just digest it a minute, then we'll
Yeah.
take a vote on this, see whether we all agreed on this
Mhm.
idea.
Could you scroll down just a tiny bit?
Yeah.
The finance committee and finance director will do the maintaining the list together, because we're not gonna have access to the reserve fund balance on a regular basis. So
Right.
if
Yeah.
we, right, so what, we can track it like we do, but it should be together. We'll jointly maintain the record.
I'm good with all that.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's fine. So let's talk about the free cash versus the
Yeah,
budget.
so what do we think? Yeah, the idea is that it gives us a little bit more wiggle room in the budget. Any money we don't spend in reserve fund goes back to free cash anyway. Typically, we don't spend it all,
And we don't have to tax people for it,
and we don't tax for it.
which is important.
But what happens if, under very unforeseen circumstances, we didn't have enough to meet the 0.6 to fund it out of free
Well,
cash?
we'd know that at budget time, right?
Yeah.
So at budget time, we would say, this year, we have no free cash, or very little free cash. So this year, we're gonna have to actually tax for it.
Mhm.
in the-
It
we
would
just-
still be
we
a
just
separate
bring it
fund.
to the town meeting.
Come to the town meeting as
As
a
a
budget
special-
line item
okay.
in the usual way.
Okay, but our policy is to at least try to not to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it would be a warrant article at town meeting
Right.
for that amount of money, 0.6%. What we would do is we would make the warrant article for 0.6% of the entire operating budget. If we got to town meeting and there was money left over in reserve fund, which we'd expect there to be at town meeting time, on town meeting floor, we would say we're amending this article to make it less money.
Okay.
We're just gonna basically be replenishing it. So the question is it a reserve fund, or do we start a fund? And Rajan, this may be something that Mike needs to answer. So we have, you know how we have the police injured and the fire station academy funds? Is this something, because if we do it as an article every year, it ends up being on our books as, you know, article number 3 at town meeting 2026,
Yeah.
article number 5 at town meeting 2027, versus having it in a fund like we do the police and fire. So we need to talk to Mike about, I think that's how we should do it.
Reserve fund, revolving fund?
It's not a revolving fund, it's just a reserve fund. We have right now, so we have the fire training, fire academy fund. And we put $50,000 in there, and then we top it off as needed, right? So if we don't send anyone, we don't put any money in it. If we send one person, we put 30,000 or whatever the dollar amount is. If that way, when we take a town meeting vote, it automatically goes into this fund. It's not a revolving fund, but it's like this fund, so it's there and it's encumbered funds that we can't use on anything else. But it's not listed as 45 different, like,
Right.
you know, in a matter of 10 years, we'll have 10 reserve fund articles
Yeah.
if we don't do it as a fund.
yeah.
And it will be, you know, if the first year will be the big amount, and then after that, you could have $20,000 and $10,000, and then we're counting and adding, and that doesn't make sense. So we need to see if we can do that same type, because that's a different, it's the same article, we bring it as an article, but the wording is different, because we're establishing a fund. Similar to the school has,
It would be similar to like an overlay, pretty much.
but not really an overlay, because we're still gonna do it through the budget process. But it'll be similar to the injured,
The IOD.
Yeah, and the firefighting
Yeah.
fund, and the school has a maintenance fund that we did, some kind of maintenance stabilization fund, I think, a few years ago. So basically, will be like a reserve fund transfer fund. A reserve transfer fund, we might just, you know, so,
So anyway, I'll take a motion to approve this reserve fund transfer policy, given that the select board may change it, right? So we have to come back and have another vote on it if they change the wording a bit.
yeah, and we need to take a vote on the budget one too. And we didn't before Monday night.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so that will include, this vote will include taking money out of free cash,
Yes.
right? So if we approve this, so I move to approve,
Actually, hold on one second. Can you just scroll up a little bit before you? Thank you. Go ahead, Maria, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
okay, I move to approve the reserve and reserve fund transfer policy as presented on August 18th, 2027.
26.
Second.
26.
Seconded.
Shit. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight.
Okay, roll call vote. John?
Connor, aye.
Grab and I.
Ryan, I.
Stolp and I.
Neil and I.
And Newton, aye. Okay, so let's do the other one then.
Okay, so I move to approve the budget transfer policy as presented on August 18th, 2026.
Second.
Roll call vote. John, Connor?
Connor, aye.
Grab and I.
Ryan, I.
Stolp and I.
Neil and I.
Newton, aye. Okay. Okay. Good. Next one is the audit's financial policy, which I just drafted today.
Who selects the firm?
I was just going to say the same
How do
thing.
you know who says it's qualified?
Say that again, what?
Who selects the firm?
Oh, town administrator?
Yeah, so typically when we select the firm, main way we do it is we go out to bid for it, and then all auditors essentially put in a bid for the service. It's changed a lot because a lot of the auditing firms have gotten bought up, so I think it's maybe only 2 now that handle most of the audits for the town. But before it was a bid process.
There's only 2 now?
It's Roselli and Clark and CLA. I think those are the only 2.
Do we
Wow.
want to specify like a bid process and they're deemed qualified by the town administrator? Is that who has the final say?
Yeah, and it goes out to bid based on the procurement laws and all of that.
But like who reviews the bids and is like this
I
one?
assume it's Mike.
So that's a good question though, because when I was looking at this audit policy, I went to the DNS website and had a look at what is sort of best practice.
Mhm.
And the best practice is that the audit firm should be selected by an audit committee, which should be driven by the FinCom
Interesting.
and other townspeople, and essentially should not include the town management. I mean, and you
I mean,
consider
that makes
re-
sense, yeah.
because it's really
You're
a
checking your own homework.
third-party independent
Yeah.
view of the town's finances, and you could imagine a situation where the town would want to be cozy with the auditors and
For
Yeah,
sure.
like Mike's brother runs an auditing firm, and he's like, "Hey, we got a great
Give us a
bid.
good report."
Town looks great." Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. Not that he would ever do that, but I got
to
it.
say, well, I want to,
Yeah.
I'll give you an easier time because I want you to come back next year and do it again for you
Mhm.
again. So
Yeah.
we'll
So
take
that's
we'll take it
interesting.
easy on you.
So it's,
Yeah.
so are you gonna propose that?
I just thought I'd raise that with FinCom actually and see what everyone thought.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting
I think
at.
it's, I don't want to be too hard about this. I don't think. I'm not sure it might be too much to sort of do at this time, but I think it's.
Well, so yeah, we
we're
can't do it for
thinking
this
about
year, because basically,
No.
we're gonna be ready for an audit. They
No.
come in fairly soon, right?
But I just like want to specify by a qualified firm selected via bid process by the town administrator or like blah.
And
Like what's a qualified firm? Do we
approved
just-
by FinCom?
And like
No, it
FinCom
needs to
is
be-
informed or something at least?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought.
Informed of selection criteria?
Yeah, I mean, I specifically
No, it makes
sent
sense.
out actually that,
Yeah,
We
the
don't-
conflict of interest.
We don't vote, but at least we're informed of the selection criteria.
Before proceeding, we're told
I don't
who it
wanna,
is,
like-
and like, yeah, that sounds good.
I don't want to assign us more tasks.
So
Yeah.
I just looked it up. Tony is right as far as best practice, and the governing body is the one who awards the contract. So it'd be the select board who would.
can you speak up, but I can't hear you.
I just did a quick search, and what you said about an independent committee, that's what they're saying is best practice. And as far as who awards the contract, that would be the
It's
select
always the
board.
select board, because they're the only ones in town.
Because I think the select
That have-
board, they're the ones not only with the town administrator, but they also award the contract and also select town council too, I believe.
So this is what I got when I went to the DLS. I got this FAQ from DLS, and it said down here, who should select the audit firm? It should be by the audit committee, and then it says somewhere down here,
What is an audit committee?
the audit committee should not be composed of potential subjects of the audit, e.g. municipal managers and staff. Could include members of the FinCom or
City
members-
council, which would be our select board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So we don't have an audit committee, so we defer it to the select board currently.
we defer it to the town administrator who selects it. I don't think the select board selects, they award the contract.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody else in town has legal authority other than the select board to award contracts.
Yeah.
But it's always on the advice of, you know, they're not gonna argue with Mike. If
Right.
Mike comes forward and says, we're gonna pick XYZ construction company, they're not gonna say, well, we wanna do our own search. So it's always just.
Could it just be as simple as like Mike's got the two people and then there's just like the chair of the FinCom, the chair of the select board, and
But
one
it
of the
could-
person is
but
the
it
committee
could-
and they just say yes or no between the two
It
people?
could be a bit like the capital committee, right, which is Mike and 2 select board members and 2 FinCom members. So you've got like a number of people looking at that.
Yeah.
And that could be the audit committee.
And, yeah, and it's not like this is gonna meet 12 times a year.
Yeah.
No.
You're gonna vote for one audit a year.
One thing.
And it won't be until next year.
Right.
And it's good, and I don't think, you don't normally, right, isn't this like a 2-year contract with these auditors?
We normally do 3-year
Or
contract.
3-year contract, so
Right.
it's like
So
once
it's
every
all
3
right.
You're
years.
saying there's only 2 companies anyway that do this now?
At this point, we've went out to bid, and the issue we had was, 1, the price was too low, and 2, most of them have gotten bought out. And the only 2 that have been responsive as far as asking questions were those 2.
Start.
So I think if we're to be super watertight, I think we should have an audit committee.
So when did we do the last one? When did we get, it's Roselli, right? When did
Yeah.
we bring them on?
So Roselli, that was,
So
Are we in the last year of a 3-year?
It was prior to 3 years from last year.
so it was, it would have been FY 24 or 25? 24.
24. So FY '24, FY '25 is what they're gonna be auditing this year. So this will be, next year will be their 3rd year in their contract?
No, the contract was in, I think, in FY '24, '25.
Okay, so we would,
24, I think. 24, because they did 25 last year with an extension that 1 year.
yeah, we did a 1-year extension with them, just
Yeah.
because we went out
So what
to.
are we doing this year? Did
So-
we sign a 3-year contract with them this year?
We didn't sign a 3-year contract. We did ask them.
We reached out to Rosella and Clark. We went out to bid initially.
Okay.
Nobody was responsive. We asked if Rosella and Clark could do a 1-year extension with us. on
Last
what-
year.
Yeah, for this past audit.
25.
And we're reaching back out to see.
So it is now.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with our current town administrator, but suppose in the future there was a bad town administrator.
And don't think that we haven't had one of those. Like,
Exactly,
we-
exactly. It's been history in the past. So,
Yeah, we've had a
I
bad
kinda
town
like this
administrator.
Decision by informed committee suggestion.
sorry.
I like the decision by informed committee suggestion. Select board ultimately votes it, but
Mm-hmm.
what was it? The FinCom select board and
It'll be a 5-member group, two FinCom
capital
members,
committee.
2 select board members, and the town administrator.
Yeah, and I don't think you cannot have a town administrator, right?
No, I
Because-
just like
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a kid checking
So
their own
and
homework.
maybe that's something you talk to Mike about.
Yeah, it's an oversight thing, yeah.
But if we're already reached out for this year and gone out to bid, we may not be able to do anything about this year.
That's fine.
It may be the next time.
Yeah,
But-
the issue isn't so, like, even if you form a committee, I think we would still run into the same problem. It's just.
Probably.
Yeah.
But at least we're all like
Yeah, but
eyes wide open.
it'll be like a process, though, that you have to visibly have people aware of what's
Yeah.
going on
Yeah,
FinCom and Select Board, and reporting back to FinCom, saying,
and like
oh,
we all
met,
agree on the criteria.
here's the situation, there's only one company anyway that bid, and
Pros and
we think we're
cons.
okay, and
Yeah,
whatever.
agree.
But you just have a process, rather than it being sort of behind the curtain a little bit, because we didn't really know what's going on before.
And if there's
Exactly.
problems, people are gonna come to us with questions, so we might as
Yeah,
well be
yeah.
in the know.
So are you, gonna talk to Mike about this? Are you gonna bring this up at the select board? How are you gonna
I can
handle this?
definitely talk to him about it, but.
I mean, I think you talked to him before the select board.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
we need to come up with wording on this together, because it's like.
But
a whole
also it means
process.
that the policy I've written doesn't really cover that.
Let's see.
So all I've said, it be conducted by a qualified firm, and that the results will be shared with the select board and FinCom as soon as available.
Okay, so really, we would add, the audit will be conducted annually by a qualified firm, and then we can just add a sentence if you and Mike and the select board all talk about it and are on the same
Yeah.
page. It basically says, the firm will be selected by whatever the makeup
An
is.
audit committee composed
Yes,
of,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Whatever you guys decide. Other than that,
I think the rest.
I think
it's
the rest
fine.
of it's fine.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Should we define what as soon as available is,
No.
or, I mean,
No.
I think that's,
within
When
X
it comes
amount of
out.
days of it being received? Just because that could be, oh,
I
it's
mean,
not
you know,
available yet.
yeah, we could put something
download it
about,
on
like,
my-
we would like to get it from the finance department and not from, a resident, because that's what we got this year.
Yeah.
We got it from a resident.
Yeah.
But I mean, as soon as available, I mean,
I think that's fine.
I think that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I get
So,
it,
Yeah,
but,
just.
I mean, is
while
there
we're
anything that
writing it.
really gets done between receiving it and then sharing it?
no, but
Ideally, no, but we got it
No, I'm
I
just saying,
think,
like,
so,
weird way this
I
year.
feel a little bit like we've dropped not just we, the select board too. We used to look at this used to come to the two boards
right.
by the, like Selena used to bring it and the auditor would come to the meeting and review the audits. And it was a joint meeting between the finance committee and the select board. And I just think that through COVID, we lost all of that.
Yeah.
I don't think,
But
It's
it's not
gonna
coming
be
in
any
like
great
the
surprise.
mail,
Yeah, I'm
it's like
saying
it's an
we-
email attachment, right? It
Yeah,
should get
so
forwarded
just-
the very second anyone
Yeah.
clicks it
That's
and
kind
opens
of-
it.
yeah.
Jill, that's exactly
but I
what I'm
think,
getting at.
I feel like now that's gonna happen. I think, like
Okay.
I said, I think we all kind of, we all sort of just let it go
Mhm.
through COVID. There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
going
awesome.
on with that old town administrator before Mike.
Yeah,
It's
it-
very difficult to get anything done.
So what I'll do is I'll reword this to include that, some wording around that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
talk to Mike about it.
Make sure he's on the same
I'll talk to
page.
the select board next week about it.
Mhm.
I'll bring it back to FinCom for voting, once we've
Nice.
had the conversation.
works.
Okay.
And
But
we'll see
yeah,
how it
thank you,
goes.
Joe. That's all I was getting at. Is it's like just forward send. It's not like it's got to come in, be reviewed and
Right.
signed, and then sent to boards. It's just forwarded.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
My
so
turn to stir the pot, I guess.
the next thing is, we talked about the financial calendar. So thank you to Honghua, she has actually designed for us a very nice municipal calendar, which
Excellent.
it came from information in the DLS site, which tells us all of the relevant dates, basically, in the municipal calendar.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, I haven't looked at it in detail, to be honest, but it looks pretty comprehensive.
So the only thing I don't see on here is when we get back the certified free cash numbers from DLS. When do we usually get that, Hagwan? So we,
Sometime in October.
October.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to be sort of aware that it's gone off and be checking when it's coming back, I think. That date sounds like it's not a fixed date.
It's not a fixed date, it's a certain, because it's when they
Yeah.
get it in, right? You get it in a little earlier, you get it back a little earlier. And it's not a secret, because what happens is, an email usually goes out, like the state certifies it via email
Mm-hmm.
to the town that just goes out to all the boards.
I think so.
Like, I don't even think it goes out like to Mike and then all the boards, it goes to
Yeah.
the boards. I think the state sends it out to everybody, because I think every year we kind of get an email about it.
So I'm thinking for this list, we should put it on the website, and we should have it on our agenda to sort of review once a month
Last
what things are happening.
last year we got the free cash approval on October 7th, so I'd imagine it's sometime in October.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things, we need to clean this up. We don't have a water and sewer commissioner, so if
Right.
we're gonna put this on the website, we need to make sure it's something that we actually have,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The select board and assessors hold classification hearings November 1st. Is it that early? I don't know, it may be a little bit later. So, so that's not a hard and fast date for us.
Right.
We just gotta be careful if we're gonna put it up there.
It's been around November. It hasn't been the first, but it's been
Right,
that
it's been
month.
around that time, right? So, just make sure that it's
Yeah,
not,
so
you
maybe
don't want people
online,
holding us.
there's a few edits and that's something we need here, like water sewer thing can come out, right? It doesn't really apply to us.
Water and sewer commissioners?
Yeah.
Yeah. And can we, so Hong-Wah, when you send in, on August 31st, you're going to send in the form to the state that basically is going to say, here's our free cash. And then they're going to certify that form, right? But can you give us an approximate on what that is? Because you're sending it into the state.
Well, they have the whole formula that they does. They have the form that we fill it out and then we send it to them, and then they have their own formula though, that they go through it. I don't know.
But they
how
don't really
that-
change it. I mean, if they do, it's not, I mean, usually the form that we send in is what's on the DLS website. It's our form,
Yeah.
signed by our people.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
you-
just,
So you're asking for like the number that we submit
Yeah.
for free cash?
just so we have an approximate, like, are we looking, are you submitting $1 million or $3 million or somewhere in between? And maybe that changes, and I promise we're not gonna hold you to it. It just would be nice to know.
So
Yeah,
you,
you're not just,
so you want a preliminary free cash
Yeah,
number?
a
Okay.
preliminary number that we understand has not been certified by the state, and they have their own stuff that they go through.
Okay.
But I think it's good to know as we
Yeah.
go, we're going into this tri-board meeting in October. All of this stuff, I don't know how we do projections if we don't have, like, some of this stuff, like, put a pin in it for
well,
this
yeah,
year.
well, then we can ask, that, if it's on the calendar, we can ask what's been sent in.
Yeah, what's been
Copy.
sent in,
Yeah, yeah.
what's a preliminary free cash number?
Yeah, okay, so a few edits on that, Hong-Wah, then we're getting pretty close. Thank you. And then I was just gonna review. The list. So we've talked about budget transfers, future audits, reserve fund. We didn't actually approve the form, actually. Do we need to approve that? I mean, we're using the form now.
I don't think we have
We
to.
already had that.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Yeah.
We're using it. It
Yeah,
seems to be
yeah.
working.
Yeah.
There doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be a lot of chaos around the form.
Yeah.
Right?
The calendar.
Hung-Wah, that form works fine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's clear?
yeah.
Okay.
yes.
So future stuff, we still got on the list here. Closing old articles will be Capital Saturday a topic. Revolving accounts, we want to look at in September. So
Yeah, we want to get all those balances, right?
Hong-Wah, you're going to come back to us with some analysis of what revolving accounts we have?
Yeah,
That'll be September the 15th, because we don't have a meeting on the 1st.
We also have, don't forget, we have Alec coming in on the 15th to go over town
Yeah.
meeting stuff. And we have to make our recommendations, so it may not happen on the 15th. There's a lot going on that
Yeah.
night.
Vacation liability, we're going to do quarterly, so that'll be maybe October, we can do that. Building inspection fees, Alec can do on 15th.
Does Alec know he's doing that on the 15th?
Yes, I thought about that.
Okay.
And then we plan to get together with the assessor and board of assessors about overlay reserve fund and revaluation costs. And we plan to talk about fees at some point as well. These are all future.
Have they talked about field fees yet, Rajan?
We haven't had another discussion with the board on it yet.
All right. I know the transfer station is the same for this year and next year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next 2 years, okay.
Is there anything else we want to add to the list?
Good God, no, that's a lot. 'Cause we also have our real job of budgeting and stuff too, so.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up quick.
I thought you'd like the list.
It's a great list, it really is, It's just,
I was going to make a suggestion on the so moving on to organisation, liaisons. We went through the liaison list, it's all put together now, but we probably need a liaison for the Board of Assessors. which I think should be me,
Okay,
Sounds
if
good.
everyone's okay with that.
excellent.
Seconded.
Approved.
Do you want to vote on that?
Everyone vote for Tony.
Nominated and approved.
Calendar, just to remind us, there's no meeting on September 1st. We'll meet on the 15th next.
But don't forget to come vote on that day. It's primary day.
Yeah. You working?
I am, that evening.
Okay.
Okay, and then,
Got it.
and then the tri-board meeting. And Liz is here as well online, so I'll get you, Liz, to talk about the numbers you shared with us tonight as well. But firstly, just a tri-board meeting organisation. So I met with Roland from the Acton FinCom, and we looked at a couple of dates, but the earlier date, which was September the 15th, I think, got pushed back. No, September the 20th, not 15th, but it's in September. Tory felt that they wouldn't have enough information from the school committee yet about their budget to talk about stuff, so.
And, you know,
That's
it's
just
quick
not-
for us too.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
15th is like, it's right around the corner.
So October 13th is a date we're sort of floating around, so we need to float that with the select board as well here. And Roland's going to do it with the Acton Select Board and the school committee.
Are you going to do that on Monday night?
So Monday night will be the same thing, yeah. So the idea is that what we would do is we would ahead of time share our 5-year budget models. We've got the school model now, actually.
We do.
And John Connor, I think you're in a good position to share our Boxborough model, right? You're still
Not
there?
right now, but I will be.
By October 13th?
Well, before
October, yeah, I
then.
could fit that in.
Before then, probably a couple
Yeah,
before.
no, we
then.
should be iterating, we should have something review for the next meeting,
Yeah,
our next
yeah,
meeting.
Yeah. And then the meeting will be circled around each of us really presenting to the group what our assumptions are around those models and seeing how, you know, the school committee model impacts our model and what, you know, what the sort of sensitivities are around that.
Tony, by any chance, did you guys get agreement on what the models should look like?
Do they have to look the same? They have a
Yeah.
5-year model because they have ALG.
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to go back and redo your model in somebody else's format, John?
I think ours
That's
can
not the
look,
question I asked. The question I asked was, because if they're a little bit different, right, what we're going to have to do is we're going to be arguing over models a little bit and semantics. We've done it before. So I'm just curious if that came up at all, right? Like how they would present
the
it.
conversation. I'm not sure how practical that would be, actually. I mean, I think we need to know. We need to know whether we can understand the school budget, I think, primarily.
Okay, that's fine.
Impacts.
and the other thing, John, I'll just say is they do use the ALG model, and that's just the way Acton funds is differently. Their ALG model is so complicated. And so I think that that's probably what they'll use. The FinCom will probably use something like that, or the select board will use the ALG model. I think we just should stick to our own model. And we don't need to argue about how it's done. I think we just need to say, here's our bottom line. We know
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
you know, based on our projections.
Yeah.
I like our models much easier. They're much easier to understand and read.
So it would be the FinComs, the select boards, the school committee. Tory feels very strongly that Peter Light and Sherry should be there as well because they understand the model, which I'm fine with. I don't think we need to invite, you know, or require Mike to be there or Honma or Rajon or anything, unless they want to be there, of course. But I mean, I think it's, you know, probably not necessarily.
I don't remember if the town managers were at the last one. No, Mike
Yeah.
didn't come to the last
No.
one. And I
But-
don't think that John Maggiore was there either, from Acton.
For
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last tri-board, all of us were there.
You were?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just didn't
yeah.
talk.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I don't think it's really. Are you
You're
fine with
welcome,
not
you just
coming?
don't have to, I think. is
So
what
I
we're
guess,
trying to
you know
say.
what, talk to I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea if you want to come. But I don't think we should require people to come.
Yeah.
It's also not our job to require you to come.
No.
That really is the select board's job if they
So
want to
I'll
require
talk to
it.
Mike about it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we should require them to come. Yeah.
We'll be
But
on
did
Zoom.
you think it was helpful, Rajon? If
I
you were
think-
there? I mean,
I think the only thing is we didn't have much input into it,
Yeah.
so
Right.
we just kind of sat and watched. But
Yeah, well, I kind of felt that way too, right? I felt like it was run differently. This is going to be very, I think,
As long as this is in the numbers.
yes,
that'd be
I
great.
feel like this is very much going to be focused on numbers,
Yeah.
whereas I felt like last time it was great, it was a good first try, but we were all talking about our feelings about our towns, and like, that doesn't help. I just want to be on about facts,
Keynote
numbers.
speech, intros, all right, bye.
Yeah, I have a question.
And not an intro speech from everybody.
Who's going to be, like, actually chairing this meeting? Like, moving things along?
Roland and me.
Okay, so you're going to be, like, moving things along if they
Yes.
get stagnant, and there are actual outcomes
Yes.
that we're driving towards.
Yeah, we're going to co-chair it, basically.
Okay, and
a
everyone will
fi-
be aware of those outcomes ahead of time and
It's
how
a
much
fi- it's
time
a
they'll
fi-
have.
It's a FinCom-driven meeting, basically.
Okay, but, like, out of the 3 boards, you will be moving people along if we get stuck.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
2 FinCom chairs from the 2
Okay.
Yeah,
towns.
yeah.
I just,
So if
Maybe I had
somebody
a bad
starts talking
maybe I had a
about,
bad
if somebody
experience
starts
last time.
talking about, like,
Who
we have,
cuts-
you know, yes,
Yeah.
Tony's gonna say, that's great, but let's look at the model.
Okay,
I mean, I
great.
think
Yeah.
that's, I think what we're saying is,
This is numbers.
we do not want this to be touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Like, we all understand the problem, and we all understand we have to feed people and all of that. We wanna look at numbers, and how do we, that's our problem, and how do we work on this solution?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
also clearly outlining the problems.
Yeah.
what we're trying to figure out is, how does this impact our potential override schedule for the next couple of years?
Right.
Right, and hopefully
Acting
everyone
the
comes
same
with,
thing.
you know,
Yeah.
this is how it impacts our potential.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So-
And, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think we need to do a big touchy-feely, like, tell me about yourself, round robin introduction thing either.
No, these are the numbers. This is how it's adding up or not adding up.
Yes.
Look, am I
Yeah.
Tell me how your numbers
No,
don't
no,
add up.
honestly, I just, you know, I like, don't need one more of those kind
Why
of
you
like,
even mentioning it?
tell me something about yourself. I would rather drink glass than have one of
I
those
was
things.
raised by wolves in a log cabin.
So,
Okay.
and finally, the location will be here.
Are we filming this?
I hope so, yeah, I need to talk to Kelly and everybody.
Oh, Lord.
To make sure we do this, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, hope it'll be here. So that's where we are with that.
Okay,
Okay? Liz, you're on. So thank you for sending the numbers late in the afternoon. We haven't really had a chance to look at them in detail. Do you have any sort of overriding commentary that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, and I wanted to send you the numbers, so I got them earlier today, but didn't really look at them until I got home from work, and so I sent them to you right away. But so just because we've, you know, settled the contracts, we have sort of a better picture at the very least of the next 3 years. And so I know Peter had done this modeling to present to ALG, and so I had asked him to have the same numbers that we can share with Boxborough too, because I know that it is helpful for you guys. You know, so we are still looking at, you know, obviously increases to the budget each year that we're projecting at this point. And that doesn't factor in, you know, any potential extra funds, you know, from advocacy, or if they change the modeling, you know, it's only the stuff that the levers we kind of know. The one other piece that I did want to make you guys aware of, although I don't think that it will have a big impact on the actual budget line item, is that our paralegals are unionizing. And so they are putting together a collective bargaining agreement along with our
Wait,
negotiations
your paralegals
subcommittee.
or your paraprofessionals? Okay, I just want to make
Paraprofessionals.
sure.
Nope.
Because I had a moment of
Work-
what? Okay, so
Work
that's a
stuff coming
lot.
out, yep.
That's a lot of people.
That would be, yeah.
It's not
that's
an
a lot, no.
insignificant, okay.
It's not insignificant. I don't know, you know, if it'll be enough to sort of like move the needle, just because the amount that they get paid is significantly less than the teachers. But that is a process we're going to be going through, and so that will be a new change. We're literally adding a 4th collective bargaining unit.
The other thing, I did look at these numbers, Liz, and the percentage that Acton feels that they're going to have over the next 5 years of students versus Boxborough, they are keeping the number either the same or slightly less. Does Acton truly believe that with all the housing, the MBTA, all the apartment buildings, I mean, that MBTA communities, apartments, do they really think that they're going to go down in students rather than up?
We go by DESI's projections, and so that wouldn't include any of that. Now, if MBTA, if there is additional housing that's approved, if there is something that would significantly shift the population of Acton, that's where we would need to take another look and sort of reevaluate more real-time costs. But it's all sort of what ifs. And
So-
if we did every hypothetical situation,
Okay,
we would
but
never.
like, does DESI, when they do the enrollment, do they get like building permits, current building permits that have been pulled? So
No,
like,
they're
okay.
looking at the 3-year average.
So I just don't think these numbers are realistic. I'm not gonna, I mean, because so we have to do a certain number of units in our town, right? Because we're a touch community. But the communities that have MBTA stations have a significant amount of housing they need to put in. And down by that, in South Acton there, they're doing something which they've overlaid as MBTA. So they're not accounting for any of these permits, any of these projects that are out there that are not either in process or about to be started.
And it'll take 3
Correct.
years once they do start counting, before it's fully
It's just,
counted.
yeah, so I guess I'm slightly, that actually,
Yeah, plus construction time.
yeah.
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 But I
So
mean-
it'll be a long way out, actually.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not realistic that in 5 years, it literally has Acton going down more. And I just think at minimum, it should be the
Yeah.
same,
I mean, it could
but
be a
that's
topic.
okay.
It could be a topic for the meeting, I think.
Yeah,
because
but that, I mean, you know,
That's one of the assumptions, right, that we can challenge.
right, because we don't have a lot more space to build out in Boxborough, realistically.
Yeah.
And then every time a big piece of property comes on, a bunch of people get together and want to save it. So, you know, but
And-
Acton does have a lot of space going in, apartments.
Just for a little bit more color as well, as, you know, someone that was in 28 different, you know, collective bargaining meetings with the ABEA this year, you know, the teachers settled at a much lower, you know, overall contract value than what they were hoping for. And so after FY 2030, you know, there's more question marks in there because that would be a whole new bargaining contract
Right.
negotiation as well.
Yeah,
So
so
just to
yeah.
keep that in there, where I would say that we can probably look at the next 3 years with more, I don't want to say certainty, but more confidence than, you know, FY 31 and 32. It's more just for illustrative purposes.
Yeah, I think anytime you go out that fourth and fifth year on any projection is tough because you're not dealing in like you're just not dealing in real assumptions. You're not dealing with permits that have already been pulled for enrollment and contracts that have already, you know, that are going to be expiring. So I think after that, but it's still good to have and make some assumptions on. So I actually think I think that that's interesting that DESI doesn't count those because I think
Yeah.
that's a big, I think that's something for us to look at. I don't think those numbers are going to be as stable as Acton thinks.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go up.
Liz, any thoughts on the tri-board meeting format and stuff that you want to share?
I actually just got really excited when you said that we were going to be holding it in Boxborough because I'm the person that is constantly putting the S on the number of towns when people are talking about the town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, remember, we're part of this too.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I look forward to being there. I also agree that I don't think it needs to be as touchy-feely, and I think that Acton is kind of feeling the same way. Like, you know, last tri-board meeting was sort of like the intro, like what are we doing, and now we're all kind of like, all right, let's just get down to business.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for staying on so late.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
I'm going to hop off and put the kids to bed, but
Okay.
if you need anything, just text me, Maria.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
All right, thanks, bye.
Okay. I've got full town meeting target dates on here, but I think we're covered with that, right, from last time. I think,
Yeah, so he's coming in to talk to us, but we have to have our recommendations written that day. Do we have the schedule? I don't know if I have the schedule. I don't have the schedule in this book. I have it in my fire station book. Oh, no, I do have the schedule. So, on the 15th, warrant to FinCom, so we're going to get that. Final language is due. Oh, on the 29th. Are we voting? Are we meeting on the 29th? Do we have a meeting that day?
No.
Okay. Well, so if we have a meeting on September 15th and then the first week of October, we're going to have to put a meeting in, or we're going to have our recommendations done and vote on the 15th.
Okay, it's on the screen.
Oh,
now.
recommendations are due on Monday, the 5th. Hold on. I'm confused.
So, the warrant closes the 14th. we
Yeah.
get it on the 15th, which is, we have a meeting that day.
with Alec,
Yeah.
and then,
So we'll hear about all of the articles from Alec.
and there's only 4, I believe.
Right. So,
And then we have to do our
we,
second select board language on the 5th. We meet on the 6th. Do you think you could ask Kelly if she can get ours on, see if it's going to KP Law on the 6th?
so the recommendations are due on the 5th, and we meet on the 6th.
Yeah, so can you ask Kelly if we can give it to her on the morning of the 7th?
Yeah.
Because the warrant articles are the piece of property, which we'll talk about in a minute, because I have an update on that.
Yeah.
Rajon, help me out. The MBTA communities, there's 3 planning board ones. MBTA, the moratorium on data centers, the 40B housing thing, which I'll talk about that too. Is there another one from the select board, or is that it, just 4?
And then we should have a few local option warrant
Oh, a
articles.
local option one, right?
I think it's two, possibly 3 of those. So it's about
So,
about 7, I think, so far.
oh, so it will be 2 or 3 local option, but again, the local option is, you need to write that recommendation.
Yeah,
To
it's
the town.
it's more so just for the town to approve. It's not going to be any financial impact ones, but
I suppose an option would be to meet on the 29th, right? If we can't do it on the, get it to on the 7th or the 6th, we'd have a final language, wouldn't we, by the 29th?
Yes. Yeah, second draft to FinCom, vote and assign recommendations. I mean, I will have my recommendations for the planning board stuff. You know, it's not tough, like, the MBTA thing, we have to change. The 40B stuff, or the 40A stuff, we have to do because the governor changed the law when she signed the budget.
Yeah.
So there's not like,
So how do we feel about having a meeting on the 29th, an extra meeting? I know everyone loves these meetings. To discuss the warrant, we'll have the final language, and we can discuss.
Just keep in mind, if we do the 29th, October 6th, we have a meeting, October 13th, we have a tri-board meeting, October 20th. So that would be 4 meetings in a row, which, I mean, just saying.
Yeah, it's like budget season.
We're starting early.
Yeah,
We did lose our September 1st meeting.
We did lose our
That's
September 1st meeting.
I think that's fine.
I'm fine with it, I just, yeah.
Well, it could be a shortish meeting.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like a long.
If we can just keep it focused on those
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
We
So
don't have to do- we don't have to do the full
I think
gauntlet.
try and get ahead of it a little bit and do it on the 29th rather than be last minute.
Okay. Rajon, on the 15th, where you have the draft warrant, that will include all of the local option stuff?
yeah.
Okay.
29th, Tuesday.
So Tuesday, September 29th,
Yeah.
you're going to add a meeting. You need to make sure that BXB-TV.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
What?
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
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 So September
Committee
29th.
reports. So we'll start with John Connor.
Do you need anything else?
I have no
So-
updates at this
Yeah.
point.
Nothing to report. John Grieven.
Not a whole lot on my end going on right now. I know the Water Resources Committee is talking to the chief tonight about water resources for firefighting around town. So I'll get that update after tonight. As always, they meet when we do. FLARA is still on track for RECOM to be put in place next month. And I was not able to make the last sustainability meeting, so I don't have an update on that right now.
Oh, I gave an update last time because I went,
Oh, you did?
because I went for the fire station, I just stayed and I gave the update to everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Do we need to sign the RFT?
We
No,
don't,
we just vote
we
now.
changed it to the
Oh.
chair only after a
Yeah,
vote.
yeah.
Okay, Steel Farm got canceled, supposed to be last week. They haven't had a meeting in a while, so I'll follow up with some members there. CPC also canceled their meeting in August, we'll be meeting in September. EDC, there was some discussion on the economic development side. There's a new dance studio in town that moved in from Stowe.
We did hear about
Right.
that.
Yeah, just down the road. Exciting.
Where is that?
It's like 2 minutes off of Is it on Hill?
I think it's on Hill, but I'm not 100% sure. It might
Or
be,
it's like right
or
off
in the
Hill on
neighborhood.
111.
In a house, in someone's house.
It's either in somebody's house
No,
or
it's in a
it's,
strip mall.
oh,
I think
then
it's
it's
called-
not on Hill.
No, it's right off Hill. I can tell you in a second. It was exciting. They do ballet for
Liquor World?
adults on.
Ballet for adults.
It's on Mass Ave.
Oh, so it's probably in that liquor world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing,
it
'cause
is.
they had- Okay,
It is. It's right off Hill.
Yep.
Wednesday nights. Anyways, so there's some talk about making sure new businesses feel welcome. They know what resources they have available to them, etc. There's some discussion on the economic development plan. DEI came back up, so they're going to try to re-engage. I know there's been some slow movement from the DEI committee. So they're trying to re-engage there, and nothing else that was relevant to us, but some discussion on like Village for a Day again this year.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
And you were reappointed to CPC at Select Board last week.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's what Becky emailed me and was like, come sign your thing. So I'm signing that on Thursday. Tony, could you also send out the liaison reports? For some reason, I can't find them. Is that
Actually,
something-
yeah,
Should we post that maybe?
I'm noticing I'm not on any committees. Should I take that personally?
No, you totally,
No, you're totally on committees.
Yeah.
I don't see any.
could
Oh.
you resend out the thing,
Yeah, well,
Tony?
because you're still with the police,
Yeah, we're on one together.
School.
school,
I took school.
Grevin
Oh.
took school.
Makes sense.
Where's police?
So it should be on the top, I'm not looking at the list, but I think it's on the top. I think that's where we have, like, it's color coded.
Yeah, there you are.
You looking?
Yeah, somebody just share, let me share.
You're
Oh,
there.
if it's row 2, it must have got truncated because I can't see below above row
FY
2.
27, you were on the
Yeah.
capital committee, of course.
And then we're on police together.
Wait, and then you're also on the town government.
You were supposed to
you're on
join
EDC,
EDC.
actually, it looks like, it's wrong.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm not seeing this. Can you send the list out, please, so I know what committees I'm on? Thank
You're
you.
not seeing Zoom?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at the document directly.
Okay, yeah, Tony will resend, because I had the same question.
Thank you.
Yeah. But if you want to do some more, John, we can certainly, we can find some.
I feel
I mean, the
feel
Board
better
of
now.
Registrars are looking for somebody.
You're on there.
I'm more of a historical commission guy. No, I'm not.
No, dibs. That's it for me, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send out this list to everybody again.
Thank you. I thought you had, but I
And
couldn't
I'll
find
post
it.
it on the FinCom page actually as well.
No, I think that would be great, so
Yeah.
people know who to reach out to if they have
Yeah, yeah.
concerns.
DPW had that RFT. The Board of Health sent out a newsletter
Saw
to all of us. So that was from the Neshoba Boards of Health, but it, covers ours as well. Nothing really pertinent to finance on there. I did review back to Housing Board's July 28th meeting that Maria had kind of recapped a bit on, and just the financial takeaways from there. The only thing really critical, they were talking about how the Affordable Housing Trust funds have been depleted over the years, so can they rely on that moving forward? They're considering asking for an actual budget line item moving forward instead of the Affordable Housing Trust, and they decided not to consider it for this fall town meeting, but it's in strong consideration for the annual town meeting.
Or they could do something with 72 Stowe Road and get $2 million
Yeah.
and put it in the bank.
So that
Nice.
was the main thing. And then they're evaluating some zoning for the Stowe Road, so evaluating between different programs that they can get some incentives from, so like 40R, Smart Growth, 40Y, starter homes. With the 40Y, apparently there's like a $300 per unit incentive they can get back, so they're kind of evaluating, the best ways to make it work for all sides.
Are they evaluating zoning and then selling to a developer?
It's a good question. I didn't get through the whole meeting, but I think they're considering all of those things as far as I haven't seen them like hone in on any one specific direction. I've just seen everything sort of floated, but yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, well, because I've heard some conversation about like we could develop property.
Right.
And to be clear, we're not developers.
Right.
So we really can't. So I've mentioned that, people don't really want to hear that. I think that there's ways to work with developers, and by changing the zoning, maybe that's the way we can then get someone in.
Yeah.
But we're not developers. I mean, we can barely make it through a project without, like a small project. So, call me crazy. I just don't think we should be building houses and selling them, so.
Maybe it's just zoning it before
And
it's
if-
sold so
yeah.
that we know who it gets sold to is gonna be zoned and built the right way.
And
or,
then
know.
and you don't need to sell it to just anyone. You can sell it with the provision that this is gonna have to be whatever it's zoned for, or whatever the affordable housing wants it to be.
Right.
But I just think we need to like kind of nip in the bud any conversation about us developing
Yeah,
houses.
I mean, the conversation, as I heard it, was just like zoning discussion, not building discussion on that part, so, but they do have the housing production plan that is needing to be, reorganized, right? So
Redone, yeah.
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 So maybe that'll dictate more of it, but that's all. Just the anticipation of a potential big ask on the new line item, so.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so I have a few meetings that I went to. I'm gonna start with fire, because that, believe it or not, might be the easiest. So now we have purchased and owned 984. We did a walkthrough, the committee did a walkthrough a couple week ago or so, because we had that design forum, and we had some of the abutters talking about tree stands that need to come out, and it was really hard to understand, but we've done this walkthrough. I will give Mike and Chief credit. They kind of laid it out with cones where the building would be, so we really could get a real good understanding. Bye.
Yeah, just note for the minutes, Michelle Ryan is leaving at 8:45.
So that walkthrough was really great. We then, they took that information, they took the survey plan, and we looked at design buildings. The committee has now decided that we're going to do a one-floor fire station, and we're also going to do, the apparatus bay is going to be a flat roof versus pitched. So they're basically going, putting the design together with those two criteria. We've dealt with some of the abutters' concerns, but they'll continue to have concerns, and we're going to continue to work with them to mitigate those concerns. At our meeting on Thursday, we will have preliminary costs, based on very preliminary costs, being presented. September 23rd, there's going to be some preliminary design presented at the planning board meeting, so that we can start that process. So things are moving. We're moving fast.
Nice.
Yep, we met with the sustainability committee, and then the other day, we had a whole meeting, almost our entire meeting was dedicated to the sustainability of the building. We are effectively building to the super stretch code, even though the town is not a super stretch code. And then there's some questions, we had people on who want us to do triple pane windows, and they want us to do these, bifold doors versus, but everything has a cost. Bifold doors are lovely, and yes, are better to keep the heat in, but far more expensive than a roll-up door. So there's things that we want to do, and then there's things that we can do, because we still need to keep this thing under $1 million.
We don't want a $50 million fire
Yeah,
station.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Maria,
because.
Maria, are those for the bays, the bifolds versus roll-up?
Yes.
Oh, I've
So-
never seen that for a bay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
if you drive to Littleton, the back way through Foster, down Foster into, there's that fire station they just rebuilt. They have bifold doors. They look great. They look really cool. But, and I think from an energy efficiency, I think that's the way you want to go. That said, they're much more expensive. There's also other things, and that's the stuff we're going to start talking about now. There's roll-up doors that dealerships now use that roll up really, really fast and come down really, really fast, but then right in the last 3 feet stop and then roll down slowly. So it's much different than the regular overhead doors. So there's different things. So we're going to be looking at that. Then I went to, I'm going to talk about planning board before we get to.
That was really cool. I just wanted to say on the fire station building committee, I watched for a little bit before I had to run out, but they had like this app where you scan a QR code.
Yeah.
And then, I was voting on like, the 5 criteria, rank them, 1 through 5.
For the sustainability stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like watching casually, and then I'm voting and informing the people, from my armchair at home. So I thought
Yeah,
that was
no, and a lot of people, so
neat.
the committee, it was hard for the committee to do it. I was doing it, but it's hard to focus on.
It was hard from home.
Yeah, and you got to really pay attention to what
Yeah.
they're saying. So we're really trying to be sure that we involved as much of the community. We have another October and November. I'm not sure. We have another forum, public forum with the design.
Nice.
The design will be further along. Okay. So the piece of property that's coming up on town meeting for the fall, we talked about this. I went to the Agricultural Commission. The Agricultural Commission is the commission that will be holding this property. It's not conservation, although it will be used to, it'll be agricultural. They're hoping to have it in production so that there'll either be farming in front and then in the back there might be forestry, but it will attach to it'll attach to all the other conservation lands right next to it.
Nice.
The article that's written is the purchase price is 1.485. Tony and I talked about it when I went to their meeting. I said, you got to add $20,000 for closing costs because they haven't even accounted for that. And normally we would fund that portion of it out of free cash, but I didn't guarantee that. I just said, write this up that way. There's a lot of questions back and forth on, the family hasn't even decided they're going to do this. We're pulling everything together. It's going to be in the warrant. I think there's a lot of steps between now and November. But we need to start thinking about, because this will be a bond. At a maximum, it will be, let's say, 1.5, a little less than that. But if they can get grants, and different groups are all working on different grants to get the pricing down, that will reduce the price of what we need. But we don't have this built into our models, and we have to start building that into the models.
So will we do a 30-year bond for that, do you think?
I think it's property, so I would ask Emily, but I think it'd be 25 to 30 years.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So that's just something we need to start building into our models, because this is, as of right now, going to town meeting.
Fall town meeting, yeah.
Fall town meeting, yep.
It won't necessarily pass.
It won't necessarily pass, and I'm not sure, I don't know what this committee, we'll hear about it on the 15th, what our vote will be. I gotta tell you, I know the person who's spearheading this on the AgCom, and he might not be thrilled about the fact that his wife is a little concerned about, do we really need another piece of land in town being protected? So, I'm not even, I think we all just need to talk about it and think about, it's,
Yeah.
it's a nice to have, but there's a lot of
It may be tough
necessities.
for FinCom to recommend it in a year when we may have an override.
Right, and we don't know that.
And we know a fire station's coming.
And we know a fire station's coming.
30+ million.
And we
Yeah.
need a fire station.
Yeah.
So, so there's a lot of competing factors that we can get more information on the 15th, but something to start really thinking about where you stand on this. And like I said, the other very quick thing, there's a whole brouhaha going on about beavers over at Off Hill Road at Paddock Estates. They've built a couple dams. They've cut off the fire pond.
The students are involved.
And by students, I mean little kids, really great little 7th graders, want to save the beavers, but the fire chief and now the Board of Health, good luck, you should go to the next meeting, need to discuss this because the Central Mass Mosquito Control has come in and said, well, now this is flooding, it's stagnant water, and now this is becoming a public health issue because of all mosquito-borne diseases. So they want the beavers gone, and you can't relocate
That's
animals.
flooded there.
Yeah, so it's kind of, so good luck at the next meeting, because now this falls out of AgCom. They manage the land, but now it's become a public health issue, so it's going to the Board of Health.
Beaver deceiver.
No, beaver deceiver will not work in that location.
Really?
Don't you know, I know everything about this now, because beaver deceiver needs to be in a piece of water that runs different levels. It's all one level. And because of that, once the dams go up, there's nothing to deceive the beavers. So at the school right now, the beaver deceiver is high and dry, and they've built their dams further up. And the water behind the school, by the bridge and stuff, there's no water there. It's all gone.
But
So-
if you trap and kill the beaver, then just another one moves back in.
Not necessarily, there's other things, but listen, literally, it was an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and I was thinking of putting my pencil through my brain, so I don't want to get
This is
into
why
it.
that whole
So-
Hill Road area is still flooded, even though it hasn't rained in like 2 months?
Yes, for the beavers, because of the beavers. So, anyway, if you're Team Beaver, that's great. Go to the Board of Health and do a cheer. Okay, and then, so the other things that are coming up from the planning board for town meeting is MBTA properties. They're just changing the formula, sort of. Again, though, they were offered 2 pieces of property on Hill Road by people who own those properties. Please zone the properties right next to where they have it. Please zone our 2 properties as MBTA. People can build on it. They said no. So one of the people who owns the property said, so basically you want to be paper compliant, but not, not by, just letter of the law, but not spirit of the law. They said yes. So they have an opportunity. This is one of the things we said last year when we said this. We're disappointed that we're paper compliant. They had an opportunity to get another like 15 acres to add to this, of which some of it was wet. And they said no. So again, they're just going for paper compliance, but this is because of a formula issue. They're doing, they're putting together language for a moratorium on data centers. And so they got to be careful with that because there is some small data centers run by some companies in-house, but they're talking about bigger data centers.
Like a 400
But they want to do,
acre.
they want to do a moratorium, I think through December 2027 is what they said. So, and then in that time, they can put together policy based in fact to really figure out, there's different level data centers and, water and all that stuff. So, so I think that's a good one that they're bringing forward. And this thing called 40A. 40B is affordable housing. 40A, the governor, apparently when she signed the budget, she signed this as an add-on to the budget, which really changes our ability to, I don't want to say police, but to really control and oversee housing production on lot sizes and variances and all sorts of stuff. It is very complicated. It is very thick. Alec will talk about it. It's government overreach at its finest. It's the state telling the towns what to do in a town that has septic and wells. So you really, and I think the goal is to encourage more housing, particularly in communities that say, well, I want a 3-acre lot. But they, if you have town water and sewer and you want a 3-acre lot, that's because you just want to be exclusive. But in Boxborough, we have water and septic and we can't really, have a smaller lot. So that's a lot of information that I couldn't follow the other night. I went to their meeting again for the second time and heard about it. So, so that's everything.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Marie.
I went to select board and review with them the list. In
The
particular,
list.
in particular, the things that I've sent to Mike, the financial policy changes that we put together, and we discussed that. So there was quite a bit of discussion actually about the budget transfer policy, which I intended to just really share with them so they knew what was coming for them, but it turned into a bit of a discussion with select board about deficit spending and what we should be doing and stuff. But good discussion. So I will go back next week and have a further conversation with them as we're moving these things through.
You're going to get on the agenda, though.
Yes.
You're not going to just do
I'm
it as
going
a.
to be legally on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. That is it, I think.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
John Connor.
Aye.
Grab aye.
Stolpen, aye.
Neil and I.
And Newton, aye. Meeting closed at 8:58 p.m.
That's not.